ITP270, in which I chose to create a reverse shell program to remotely access another machine's command line. What is a reverse shell? So there are many ways to go about gaining control over a compromised system's command line. However, most basic firewalls tend to block direct remote connections, which is one benefit of using a reverse shell, as it bypasses those firewall restrictions. The basic premise of my project is to use two scripts, one of which will be an attacker, which will act as the server. In my case, I'll be using Kali Linux for this. And the second machine, which will be the victim, will act as the client. And again, in my example, this will be a Ubuntu virtual machine. In these two scripts, the victim machine will initiate a connection to the attacker's machine, where the attacker's machine will listen for and accept incoming connections on the specified port. So why did I choose this topic? So currently I'm working as a SOC analyst, so I do a lot of blue team work, such as monitoring SIMs, analyzing a bunch of logs, and escalating any issues that I see to tier 2 analysts. And for this project, I just wanted to get my hands dirty and some exposure to some more red team and offensive security techniques, just to kind of expand my horizons, expand my practical skill sets. And secondly, I just thought it was a cool project to show off and to build upon in the future. Okay, so here's kind of a step-by-step explanation of how my two scripts are programmed. So first, for the attacker's code, I input the host IP address and the port number that they'll communicate over. Then I created a socket with the socket.socket function. Then I binded the socket to the IP address and port with the socket.bind function. Next, I put the socket in listening mode with the socket.listen function. And then I accepted connections with the socket.accept function. And then I programmed a while loop that'll iterate through, and it'll send commands to the client in which the client will retrieve and print the results until the exit command is given. And once exit is given, it'll go ahead and close the connection. And the attacker's code, that'll be running first. And then once that's running, I'll go to the victim's code, and which is programmed to, again, the same host IP address, not the same IP address, but the IP address along with the same port number. And then I created a socket with the socket.socket function. And then afterwards, it'll connect to the server. And then that'll also iterate through a while loop that'll receive the commands from the server, execute and retrieve those results, and send those results back to the server until the exit command is entered, in which case it'll then close the connection. So there were two main difficulties that I ran into while programming this project. The first one was while connected, when attempting to change directories using the cd command, the program tends to stall out. And we'll kind of see an example of this in the demo. And secondly, again, as you'll see in the demo, when attempting certain commands such as touch to create a new blank file or rm to remove the file, the program tends to stall out and I have to quit both processes. But afterwards, however, the command seems to execute after the program stops. All right, here is a demo of the two scripts in action. Okay, so I just started the attacker's code, and next I'll start up the victim. And you can see that it is now connected to the server, and we see on the attacker that is also connected, and it's asking me to enter commands. And I just entered the ls command to list. And as we can see, final project, grade calc and victim machine, and grade calc victim machine, and final project appeared. Next, I used the present working directory command. And then next, I catted the grade calc.py program, and we can see the output here. And then I'll open up the grade.calc program in the Ubuntu. And then next, I just typed in the hostname command to show that it is the Ubuntu VirtualBox that's running. Okay, and this, I use the touch.test.py command to create a blank test.py command on the Ubuntu. And as you can see here, it kind of stalls out, but I'll give it just 10 more seconds or so. Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward because I waited for it for about 3 minutes and nothing happened. So I'm just gonna fast forward until I decided to just stop the programs. So then I stopped this program, and then I stopped it on the client as well. And then when I open up the projects, we can see that test.py was created though. And then afterwards, I changed the port numbers just to use a free port. And then I restart both programs. Right, then I list the directories, and we can still see that test.py was created. And then I'll use the rm to remove test.py. And again, this is gonna stall for a few, but this time I didn't wait as long. And then we can see test.py disappeared. So then I'll change the ports again to use another open port. And then I'll list out the directory, and we see that test.py has actually been removed. And then once I input exit, it exits the program on the attacker, and on the client, you see disconnected from server. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.